Hello everyone, Shinto Bean here with some more Warhammer combat cards. Now someone asked me to talk about the top decks from each faction, so I took screenshots of all of my favorite decks. Some of these are very strong, others are not really the best, but they're my personal favorites. So I'll go through and talk about each one. Before we start, this is my current standing for ranked mode. Got Orcs and Necrons at the top, followed by Chaos and Eldari, with Servants of the Emperor close behind in 5th place. The other three factions haven't really seen much action yet this season. So first up for Necrons, we've got Nemesor Zandrek. This guy is my personal favorite. He's a lot of fun to use. Because he is relatively new, I have him at a low level, but we've got the Void Dragon and Tombstalker, two very powerful big game hunters. They do a whole lot of damage, both ranged and melee, and they are supported by the Cryptek, which can heal them, and the Cryptothrall, which can taunt and divert damage away from them. So it can do the job very quickly, that's for sure. So next up for Tau, we've got the newest warlord, Aunva. I only have him at level 1, but so this is probably not my strongest Tau deck, but it is a lot of fun. I think his special rule is really great, as it continually buffs your units throughout the match. Unless you're playing against Psychic, which is why I included that shield drone there. It can absorb some of the damage from Psychic attacks. But the Riptide Battlesuit, extremely powerful, along with the Broadside Battlesuit and Ghost Kill Battlesuit. The Krutox is pretty fun. I just like Berserkers, so I threw it in there. It can deal a decent amount of melee damage as well towards the end. Next up for Space Marines, we've got Lieutenant Tolmaron. Of course, this guy is still one of the most popular Space Marine warlords. He always has been very strong, even after getting nerfed several times. For him, because I have the Invictor Tactical Warsuit at the highest level, that thing is in the first spot there at level 10. And then we've got the Centurion with shield. We've got the Ancient with Inspiring Presence. Got the Eliminator with Target Acquired, which is not really a super good trait, in my opinion, but it's there just in case you need to focus down an enemy. And then in the bottom row, all of those have Precision Shot, which is good for taking out low health enemies or dealing with shields. So yeah, with the continuous range buffs, this is a very powerful deck. Next up for Servants of the Emperor, we've got Commissar Yarrick. Again, this guy, the way he works, your units should be getting constantly buffed throughout the battle. Most of the time with ranged buffs, every time one of your units is destroyed, it should buff your attack by 30%. So you'll be doing a lot of range damage, and then at the very end you can deploy the Penitent Engine to deal a massive amount of melee damage. Next up for Eldari, I think the strongest warlord for Eldari might be Rakarth, with his the way that he can heal his units throughout the battle, but I have played the most Zephyr Blade overall, and I just recently got the Crimson Hunter Exarch. You can see it right there, it's the 44-point card. Very powerful even at level 2, and at level 3 it gains a huge power spike. But yeah, everything in here has a ranged attack, and you can just put down the low cost ones at the beginning, and then towards the end your units will be dealing an insane amount of range damage. So it's pretty fun playstyle and relatively easy to use. For Orcs, we've got Ghazghkull Thraka. This guy also a lot of fun. Recently I did use a different build with Ed Zappa and some more melee units, but this is the one that I used for a long time with the 3 powerful ranged units, and then we've got just the Def Grippa with Inspiring Presence, who can further increase the damage of Ghazghkull Thraka once he deploys. Just recently got him to level 5, haven't played too many games with him at that level, but he does deal an insane amount of damage. Next up for Chaos, we have Ranged Chaos, is my personal favorite. Perhaps not the strongest strategy, but it is a lot of fun, with the Forge Fiend dealing massive amounts of range damage. Got the Bloat Drone with Poison, Noise Marine, a shield, Obliterator with precision shot, and I just recently put in the Plague Marine. That thing also has poison, as well as the little dude with taunt there. And then finally for Tyranids, we've got Gosar. You might be seeing a trend here. I do like the warlords who buff your damage, so this guy also buffs your melee attack at the end of each turn. And then we've got some very big Tyranids here, the Moloch, the Hive Tyrant with Inspiring Presence, and then the Tyranid Warrior, that's the melee heavy one with poison. Also got the little Spore that can taunt, as well as the Biophagus there at the bottom who can heal up your biggest units. A lot of fun to use. Not really my strongest. Tyranids are one of my weaker factions, but still, this is a pretty fun deck to use. So those are my personal favorite decks for each faction. And if you have any further questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. And I would be interested in hearing what your favorite warlords are as well. So yeah, let me know what you think. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.